You got Chris Little stepping up to the role. He's coached a lot of the players who are signed to the contracts right now. What's he going to do to continue on John's work to keep building S2 and the USL side of player development?
Well, Chris, as you know, he won a national championship with the young players. He's got great experience with the college age players, having been at Elon for a number of years. He's also going to continue the role as director of coaching, which I think is very important in terms of merging the programmes together in a seamless way to create that player pathway. But obviously he knows every single player in the club very well, which is the most important thing when we talk about scouting and player development, is our own internal scouting.
How much of your vision for what you've wanted to accomplish in player development do you feel you've been able to get done in your time here so far, and how much left do you still feel there is to do?
I think Garth says it best when he talks about 1.0 being achieved perhaps with the academy. Not that we're going to rest on our laurels with the academy, we're going to continue to obviously grow and not be complacent. But the next phase is the USL. We feel that we have the pieces in place for that. The younger players are slightly older, they're still going to probably be the youngest team. But that for us is not an excuse either. We believe in these young players, we want to give them a chance to excel and to develop. And we've seen studies, and we looked at the Champions League, and in the last 10 years, quarter-finalists in the Champions League level in Europe are making, I think it's 86% are making their debut at 17. So if we're going to emulate that, and why shouldn't we, why not us, and then we need to really think about that, and that means being aggressive with giving young players opportunities.
Garth said the goal is to have S2 competing for a USL playoff spot this year. From your perspective, do you think that's an attainable goal, even with the obstacle of having young players going against older competition?
Yes, I do think it's realistic. I'll try not to use the word obstacle in that I see it as promise and as opportunity more than anything else. We all know that there'll be a certain, at times, naivety, and that's part of the development when it comes to those USL matches. But certainly, why not? We're not here to make excuses. We don't want to finish bottom of the league. We want to compete in every game, and we feel that the year that we had last year really sets us up for a little bit more stability and better results this year too.
What about Chris's coaching impresses you the most?
Attention to detail, thorough, very, very organised, but has a wonderful gift, I think, in terms of being demanding, but at the same time knowing when to put his arm around a player to develop the player, but holding them to the highest standards.
Both Chris and Wade started out as academy coaches. Can you talk a bit about the club's investment in academy coaches and developing them?
Yes, we've had a number of academy coaches. You may or may not know, Sharon Murray's now with the Portland first team, Junior Gonzalez with LA Galaxy's first team, Sean Henderson, who's here with the academy as a full-time coach, is now the head of scouting here. So just like players, we're going to continue to develop people, develop coaches, and so we're delighted about that too, to promote from within and build succession plans for our coaches as well as players.
I know Nuhu is expected back here this year, but he's also been listed as one of the most desirable kind of young transfer targets for a lot of kind of European outlets. What does that do for you guys when you're talking to 18-year-olds from other countries saying he came here, played here a couple of years, he's still under contract and starting here, but he's also drawing this sort of interest?
Yeah, Nuhu is another avenue, if you like, for the pathway. We have our own local players, which we place a lot of emphasis on, but another way to do that is with S2, and it's the same with Geordie Dilem, I believe, that started as USL players and were able to catch the eye of the first team, be in that environment, and eventually be signed, and who knows what's after that.